Yeah, so I used this, and then I put about 8 tablespoons of Epsom salts from Walmart in here in hot or warm water, and then I dissolve the salts in. I usually put whatever amount of water in there, and put honey, 4 bags of tea, because you got to get rid of the disgusting the salt taste. It's the aftertaste, which is absolutely disgusting. But I do that from probably a couple times a week, and that cleans you out. Very much so.
Physics and logic on a level supreme. It's a curved reality, splitting flurf dreams.
Hey folks, how's it going? So that's Mikey Smith. Now, he's known for usually doing some really blurry star observations, assuming he sees a firmament when actually all he's seeing is digital noise from his camera, in which he's hyper-focusing, using stuff like program on his phone, which is CapCut, and then he also uses like his I think it is software for viewing pictures and stuff. Zooms in like 200-300% and thinks he proves the flat earth, proves the dome, and so there's other things he also tends to claim and make claims of, and this is where it starts getting to more dangerous advice that Mikey Smith likes to put out. And he's done this several times on different live streams. I've caught him and I've called him out on this a few times, and that is Mikey Smith giving out medical advice, mainly homeopathic medical advice, and saying what things that people should take or do to help cure things. And I've seen actually one live stream, I believe there was some fella actually called up and talked to Mikey, and he decided to try to give them advice while he was driving on the phone. So he was on the phone while driving, while live streaming, all that stuff, right? So there are some people that do actually listen to Mikey Smith and think that he has some sort of homeopathic medical advice or advice that they think is good. Unfortunately, from what Mikey is putting out, and this is why I'm making these videos, is some of the stuff he puts out is bordering on dangerous, as in it could cause serious injury or even cause somebody to lose their life, or cause permanent damage to like things like the reproductive system or the stomach and stuff like that. So let's break down a couple of things. He just recently put out a video in which he tries to call some observatories in Hawaii, and he also decides to spew more of this very dangerous and problematic medical advice. And so I am taking it upon myself to debunk this and to show how this could actually potentially cause great harm to you if you were to listen to Mikey Smith. Hey folks, before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like it, share it out, and it's helped my channel grow. Thanks for watching.
When I remember to drink borax, I do, but I haven't done it in a long time. I could probably do it right now if I wanted. Very beneficial to the cartilage in your body and other health benefits. Borax, yes, the real borax you get in the laundry detergent section in your grocery store. Don't drink too much, but you can drink it. Teaspoon in a cup of tea or coffee. Go right ahead.
So right away, when he claims borax, and he says you buy it from the laundry soap aisle in your grocery store, that should be a massive red flag for anybody listening to this. It's just like the whole Tide Pod challenge thing, right? What happened with that? Not good things. People got seriously hurt. Borax is a cleaning agent. It's stuff you put into laundry to help whiten your whites. It's also something you can use for cleaning hard surfaces. It's also an insecticide, and it attacks the insects. It's something that was slightly safer than using more harsher chemicals. So it's, it's not as much chemical. It's not chemical so much. It is a naturally occurring substance. It tends to come up on dry lake beds. when a lake like fills up, dries, there's something that is kind of found there, and then they obviously refine it and purify it and stuff like that. It attacks these insects. I think this is the digestive system, stomach and stuff like that, or nervous system, one of the two. But so now ask yourself, would you want to ingest an insecticide and think that it's going to be a health benefit and give like a health, as Mikey said, good for your joints and stuff like that? That is empirically incorrect. Now, what Mikey may be conflating this, and other people have put this out on TikTok, so TikTok health advice, probably not, that's a red flag there, is boron. Now, borax contains boron by high levels of boron. Boron is something that's found in plant food, and boron is the element can be found in like stuff like leafy greens, fruits, vegetables, stuff like that, where the plant obviously is utilized it, and that is where you can have some of the health benefits of good for your sort of good for your body and stuff like that. Now, on that level, on that note, there is some controversy on if boron itself has any kind of health benefits. They're still doing studies. They're still out. There's no advice. Nothing's come out to confirm that boron is actually good for your body, how it interacts in the body. Now, boron obviously happens in fruits and vegetables. I'm not saying it's bad, but there's no conclusive evidence to say that it actually has any real health benefits whatsoever. But that being said, that's different. That's not borax, right? This borax is contains that. It also contains other elements in it. And Mikey's saying that a teaspoon of borax, throw it in your coffee or a tea, which we're only talking like, 250 milliliters, you're putting that much in. That is bordering on a lethal dose for an adult. You're ready to about almost 10 grams, depending on how heaped you have it and stuff like that. Now you're starting to border into lethal doses, and for children that is a lethal dose. It's higher than a lethal dose, and that can cause pain, extreme stomach pains, vomiting, diarrhea. It can cause a lot of pain inside, as well as borax. If you ingest it, it can actually affect your your reproductive system, and it can make you sterile. That's correct. If you're pregnant or if you're a man, it actually has been proven to show to sterilize people by drinking borax. So this is an extreme risk. Now you're risking that people have actually died from borax poisoning, but also people have been shown that borax has sterilized people. Back in the day, you used to use boron as an anti-caking agent or like a preservative, but they found that way back, I think in the 1930s and stuff, they found that actually it was having adverse effects, or I think actually they used borax itself back then, but it had adverse effects, and so they stopped using that. And borax is banned from being used for food grade in the United States. In fact, borax itself is completely banned in Europe altogether. You cannot find borax here because it is classed as a poison.
Will not hurt you. I've done it hundreds of times.
Of course, I like to bring in receipts. So here's some stuff showing how borax is dangerous, and you can have organ damage, neurological effects, reproductive issues, other symptoms. Boron versus borax. Boron is a mineral essential for plant potential benefits, maybe, but borax is definitely not to that, and this kind of shows how it's poison. So borax, also known as sodium tetraborate decahydrate, and here's the chemical name for it and the composition, and you can see how it actually is classed as a poison, but you can see where it comes from, but it's highly toxic.
Oh God, my legs are stiff.
Now, that little comment there, I just wanted to draw attention to. Mikey through his whole stream is complaining how his legs are stiff, they're sore, they have a hard time moving, he feels weak. That is a symptom of the next thing he's going to talk about. It's something he's actually promoted quite a bit, and this is Mikey likes to drink extreme, excessive amounts of Epsom salts to the point where you're looking at, I think it's 8 to 10 times in one dose, the recommended dosage for a human to take once in a while. And Mikey also takes the Epsom salts that you would buy at like your Walmart Smart Brand or your dollar store, that you would sprinkle in either a bowl to put your feet in and soak your feet, or that you would maybe put in the bath water to soak in the bath with sore muscles. He's drinking this, and he does this 2 to 3 times a week, and he fully admits it, but he does like 8 tablespoons in water, and it has its own health concerns. But what he's experiencing there, I'm not a doctor, but it does show the symptoms of him having magnesium overload as well as severe dehydration, because that's some of the symptoms of magnesium, being magnesium poisoning, which is what Epsom salts are. Let's continue on.
Where is my borax anyways? I haven't seen it in a while. Probably right here. There we go. This is my, I don't have it in a box anymore. I put it here. This is my bag of borax. This is not flour, sugar, salt, or drugs. This is borax. There is a live stream when I actually opened up the box and put borax in my tea, so not a problem. There's people that do it. It will not hurt you.
Now, I hazard a guess to think that Mikey has watched some videos or TikTok videos in which people have claimed to put borax in stuff. This seems to be a little bit of a trend, not like the Tide Pod trend to be as big. I think people learned a lesson about drinking, detergent and items like that from that. But he's seeing this now. Unfortunately, Mikey is gullible enough that he'll believe people without doing a shred of research and realizing this, how toxic this can actually be, and that this actually has zero health benefits, but a whole bunch of health risks.
Yes. So.
All right, so moving on to the next thing that Mikey actually brings up in the same stream. Now, he's done this several times. I've addressed this on some of my live streams and other videos. I'm going to address it again because it is actually dangerous practice. And Mikey actually takes it at extreme levels. Now, there is some health benefits to Epsom salts if you're taking medical or food grade Epsom salts at maybe a few grams, like maybe 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. So in a drink every once in a while, very, very occasional, because 1 teaspoon can be more than enough to give you the diarrhea, but it can help flush, as well as maybe help introduce a bit more magnesium into your system to help kind of bring up your levels a little bit if you are lacking in magnesium. But unfortunately, Mikey does this a lot more. So we're going to move into that, and he talks about how often he does it, how much he puts in, and how he kind of does it. Do not take his advice whatsoever. How Mikey does it is extremely dangerous to your health and can cause a lot of pain and discomfort, and can even have some lasting health effects.
Salt flush, when I drink, I'll kind of describe it and stuff. Yeah, so I use this, and then I put about 8 tablespoons of Epsom salts from Walmart in here in hot or warm water, and then I dissolve the salts in, I usually put whatever amount of water in there. And
so now, not only is Mikey doing 8 tablespoons, which is an absolute crazy amount, and really far more than any adult would ever need, and this is going to cause, he must have some really bad stomach pains, and he is suffering from other effects due to this. If you look at the symptoms of magnesium overload and extreme dehydration, you notice that Mikey actually complains of a lot of things that is associated with this. He has other health issues as well with his diabetes, which is untreated, and I think there's a few other things going on. I would hazard a guess to say that he probably has high blood pressure and a few other things due to the bloodshot eyes all the time and stuff. But that could actually be a symptom of either the borax too, because I believe that actually could have bloodshot eyes. But I digress. So. That's the fact that you also notice that was the regular everyday Epsom salts that you would buy from Walmart, just the cheap ones, and they are the ones very much specific for putting either soaking your bath water or soaking your feet in a bowl for your sore feet or to soften up your skin a little bit.
Put honey, 4 bags of tea, because you got to get rid of the disgusting the salt taste. It's the aftertaste, which is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, dude, no freaking doubt. You put 8 tablespoons of Epsom salts in maybe 3/4 to a liter to 1 liter of water, maybe. Because he wasn't saying he's filling that up all the way. Maybe 500 milliliters, whatever. So, yeah, that is going to taste absolutely horrendous. Oof. How is it nasty?
But I do that from probably a couple times a week, and that cleans you out very much so.
So I know that maybe my word isn't good enough. I'm not a medical professional. I know a little bit about stuff like that, but I'm definitely not a medical professional whatsoever. I am smart enough to know what's poison and not poison. And so I thought, well, let's ask AI, let's ask Grok, see what they think. So I asked Grok, one of the first questions is it safe to drink in water 8 tablespoons of Epsom salts? So let's see what Grok has to say. You can see what I put up here. I'll just put up a screenshot of my conversation. So you can see I haven't prompted before that. Simply just, that was a question, the first question I asked. So you can see the top there, I ask, is it safe to ingest 8 tablespoons of Epsom salts in water? It goes, no, it's not safe. In fact, that's verging on a lethal dose. It causes things like diarrhea, heart conditions, coma, stuff like that. Nasty stuff. It's not very good. That amount is dangerous. Just because natural doesn't mean it's always safe. I asked what could it do, and it talks about how it floods your blood with magnesium. Blood pressure can crash. It can cause all sorts of issues. Alright, so just a little side note here. I happen to remember in the back of my cupboard, it's out of date now, I'm going to have to throw them out, but I have something called Andrew's salts. It's called the original Andrew salts, also known as Andrew liver salts. In this here, this is designed for things, it's got magnesium sulfate, sodium hydrogen carbonate, and citric acid, right? So let's just look and see how much is in this, okay? So the ingredients, and I'll bring this. So the ingredients in this, effervescent powder containing the active ingredients of sodium hydrogen carbonate, which is essentially kind of baking powder, citric acid, and magnesium sulfate. If you look at magnesium sulfate, which is also Epsom salts, is 17.4%. Okay, and also it has a bit of sucrose that's per 5 milliliters spoonful. So 5 milliliters is approximately about a teaspoon, give or take, depending on how big you want to pile it up. But give or take, it's about a teaspoon. Now they recommend for this, for you to take it, for an adult to take this. If you want to do that, I think it's, hold on here. Alright, so just looking at here how to use it. So adults is for upset stomachs, indigestion, and overindulgence. Measure 1 level spoonful, which is 5 milliliters spoonful, into a glass of water and drink. Take as needed, up to a maximum of 4 times a day. Now 4 times a day, level 5 milliliters, and magnesium sulfate, which is Epsom salt to 17.4%, would be the equal about 5 milliliters or 5 grams. So throughout the day, if you take this 4 times a day, you would ingest a teaspoon worth of Epsom salt. And that's the recommended amount per day for an adult. Now remember what Mikey said. He had 8 tablespoons in one sitting. It just shows us how much he's taken. That's a lot. He must be having some explosive diarrhea, some really bad stomach cramps, and he is definitely experiencing magnesium overload. Let's continue on.
And yeah, you're going to want to put your borax into like tea or something, because obviously borax is a metal or steel. So if you want the metal taste out of whatever you're drinking, you can't put it in the water because it'll just taste like you're drinking a rod of steel.
Not exactly sure where Mikey got the information, because borax is not metal or steel. It's a naturally occurring mineral compound, sodium borate, that is salt of boric acid, which contains the metalloid element boron. It is a white powder or crystal used as a flux in metalworking, cleaning agent, and laundry booster. But it's not metal. It's actually, like I said, it's a mineral. Boron, which sits between metal and non-metal on a periodic table, but it's definitely not metal or steel. So there you have it. Mikey Smith often likes to give out this often misconstrued medical advice, the homeopathic advice that can border on being actually dangerous and can be detrimental to your health. He makes claims that are often unfounded, uncited. I don't know where he gets the information from, or makes it up himself. Kind of like his star observations. But yeah, it's just because things are natural, and I think there are people like Mikey that think because it's a natural element or a homeopathic remedy that it's safe to just go absolutely nuts on and to take as much as you want and just load up on it. That is definitely not the case. Homeopathic remedies, minerals, stuff like that, can be dangerous and sometimes can be detrimental to your health, or even dangerous where it can cause death. You can overload a lot of different minerals and vitamins that can have really, really bad effects on you if you go and overload and just take way, way, way too much. So just because something may be natural or and may not be man-made or chemical does not mean that it's safe to go and take a buttload from. In fact, you can drink too much water just by itself, and you could actually die from alcohol, from water intoxication. And what you do is you just ingest too much water, your blood thins out too much, and you end up dying from your blood pressure dropping too low, and it can cause a lot of different health problems. So, and there are people that have done certain challenges, drank gallons and gallons of water and ended up in hospital or ended up in the morgue. So that's just one example. So in fact, dihydrogen monoxide is in every single poison, funny enough. Yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me for more videos, click the like button and share it out. Share this thing out. Make sure people realize that you get these dangerous health advice and like that from people who are completely uneducated. They don't have a clue what they're talking about, don't do any research, can't be bothered. They believe either some rando on TikTok has told them something without ever fact checking it, or they just make shit up, like I think Mikey Smith often does. Thanks for watching. And I will see you again. But people, don't forget, Earth's definitely a globe, space is real, but don't forget, stay curious, and I'll see you again. Thanks for watching.